South Africa, 1994. Finally, after nearly 5 decades of extreme repression under the apartheid system, the country of South Africa finally holds its first free democratic elections, including not only the white minority, but the black majority as well. Because for the decades previously, the black majority had lived under a awful system called apartheid, which in Afrikaans, the language of the white settlers in Africa, means separateness. And under that system, whites and blacks were separated, blacks were repressed, treated severely, and with the explicit purpose that blacks could never rise above. Yeah, sorry, I can't joke about that because it's not funny. However, after 25 years of imprisonment, the leader of the African National Congress, known as the ANC, Nelson Mandela, had finally been released from prison. And thus, in this election in 1994, Mandela would win the presidency, and the ANC would win what's called a supermajority in the South African National Assembly, which also means that you get 2/3 of the seats. So basically, you can do anything you want. The future seemed to look bright, and South Africa had a new democratic awakening and beginning. That was then. Fast forward to the present, 2017. Things have changed. This democracy hasn't really worked out for a lot of black South Africans, especially the younger ones, called the born free generation. Meanwhile, since the black majority took power, many of the whites decided that they didn't want that, so they skedaddled. They went to Canada, they went to Britain, they went to America, but they did not want to stay in South Africa. And there are some whites who are left, but there were not that many. Although we did have one who visited our house. His name was Sevi. Cool guy. But anyway, a lot of the young blacks in South Africa are angry that they feel that the whites still have too much power and the economic benefits that they were promised are still not there. And also, not only are they mad at the white minority, but they are also frustrated with the politicians from the ANC, who they feel only care about themselves. And you'll find out more about that later. And their accusations are absolutely true. Some are even turning to the most radical option of all, a communist, Marxist, extreme left, option called the Economic Freedom Fighters, a group of dissidents from the ANC who felt that the ANC was, quote, too capitalist, and want to see a socialist state, kind of like Venezuela. And if you look at Venezuela, you'll find that they are a raving success story. Perhaps the politician that these young black South Africans feel most angry at is of course not a white politician, but the nation's, well, not current, but former president, Jacob Zuma. Zuma, of course, was a longtime ANC activist who worked with Mandela and was imprisoned, exiled, and did a lot of important work on the South African transition to democracy. But then he became corrupted, severely. First, in 2005, Zuma was accused of rape. Yes, rape. And he got away with it. By the way, I have to tell you one more fact about Zuma. Zuma is a polygamist, which means you have many wives. That is something that is common in the Zulu tribe, which Zuma is a member of. Kind of like in Utah in the 1880s. But even the Mormons don't do polygamy anymore. So what's up with the Zulus? And so currently, Zuma has not one, not two, but 3 wives. And then there's a 4th one, who is his ex-wife, who we'll get to later. Zuma was charged with nearly 800 counts of corruption, including fraud, money laundering, and racketeering. And somehow Zuma got away with that, but not forever. The cases continue to dog Zuma for a long time, and it will come back to bite him. In 2009, by some miracle, mainly because the ANC is the only real political party in South Africa, the other ones are a joke, Zuma was elected to the presidency, and he has not been a good president. Oh! Hello! This is our new quiz section here at Beyond the Borders, with a new set and everything. Wow. It's a miracle. And now Wesley will come in and ask me some questions.
Hello, here I am.
Here I am with my computer.
Yes, with his computer.
My
computer is currently recording this video.
Aha!
Alright, so, your first question. Which metropolitan area is the largest in the world, not bordering a body of water?
Oh, that's a good one. What are the... I will need the choices.
You need the choices? Okay. A. Johannesburg, South Africa.
Oh, interesting.
Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
London, United Kingdom. Beijing, China.
I'm gonna say it's Beijing, right?
Isn't it nice that Johannesburg was here?
Yeah, it is nice, but Beijing was the answer, right?
Well, let's find out.
It was. I hope it was. Incorrect.
No, it's actually Johannesburg.
Oh my god! I'm so embarrassed. Oh, please forgive me.
Which city lies on the western shore of the Caspian Sea?
Oh, that's an easy one. That's Baku.
Azerbaijan?
Azerbaijan.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah, I knew that without looking. Ha. Ha ha ha. Very funny.
Now, which of these are capital cities?
Oh, that's an easy one.
St. Petersburg?
No.
Manila?
Yes.
Accra?
Yes.
Windhoek?
Yes.
Lijiang?
How do you spell that? Oh, is that... Oh, no. And the other one, yes.
Parimbo.
Yeah, that's the capital of Suriname, a small country in South America that I'm not going to talk about on this show.
You got them all. All right. Two more. The Kaliningrad Oblast borders which body of water?
The Baltic Sea.
Baltic Sea. These are like the hardest ones I can find, and you're just annihilating them.
Mm-hmm.
Which country has the lowest people per square mile?
Mongolia.
Wrong.
What?
Choices are Namibia,
Namibia, or as Trump said, Nambia.
Australia, and Guyana.
Oh, no. The answer is actually Mongolia. So I don't know. Just guess Namibia.
You think the quiz is? Look, he's doing so well that he's got enough nerve to tell this quiz that it's completely wrong.
Yeah, I know. I've got the nerve. Not quite like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Terminator. Not quite, but close.
I'll be back.
So, which one?
You just guess Namibia or Nambia, as Trump says.
Nambia.
Which is
it's correct. They think it's Nambia.
Okay, well, Namibia, not Nambia. There's Zambia and Namibia. This is actually a surprise video on South Africa for the Beyond the Borders channel. And the next video, I promise, will be about North Korea and the very, very, very fat man. Recently, the BBC has done an article about Zuma saying he somehow had 9 lives like a cat. The better way to describe him than a cat, however, is a cat burglar, because through his 9 years in the presidency of South Africa, Zuma stole from South Africa. In 2012, it was exposed that Zuma had used state funds for his palatial estate in his home state of KwaZulu-Natal, which sounds really African, like we're going on a safari. Ooh. It was called Nkandla, or as Zuma himself would say, Nkandla. But if you ask any South African about Nkandla, you will get a strong emotional reaction. I guarantee it. Also, even bigger, it was exposed later that he had been using the Gupta brothers as part of a state capture scheme. Now, I probably mentioned the phrase state capture in my Slovakia video, and I didn't explain it very well. So here's the rundown. A state capture happens when a small group of people, a private company, a family, or even just one specific person, has such power over the government that they ultimately make the choices instead of the elected government. This is a form of extreme political corruption and generally does not lead to any sort of good policy making when the government can only do policies for one person. That's not good. Of course, so the state capture involved the Gupta brothers. Yes, Gupta. They're actually from India. And of course the tandem was called the Zupta tandem. Zupta. I know. It sounds more like it sounds more like a phrase you would use after you woke up and had a strange dream and were talking gibberish. In spite of all the scandals, Zuma has been called Teflon. Among the Zulu tribe, Zuma remains very popular. Also among several other South Africans who are not part of the Zulu tribe, Zuma has been popular. Why is this? Because he has used charismatic rhetoric, pitting the black majority against the white elites, promising to take the white elites' wealth and give it back to them. But what does he do? He takes the whites' wealth and the blacks' wealth and gives it to himself. It seemed like Zuma could get away with this forever, until in December 2017, Zuma's ex-wife, don't ask me to pronounce it, it's Zonkazi Nadima Zuma, whatever, I don't know. Just say, we'll call her NDZ, okay? Lost the NDC... Okay, sorry. I'm back. I struggled with an African name mightily, so I'll just call her NDZ. Zuma's ex-wife, NDZ, unfortunately for Zuma, could not defeat Cyril Ramaphosa, another longtime ANC activist and another ally of Mandela, in the fight for who would be the next president of South Africa. After Ramaphosa beat NDZ, Zuma was preparing for the fight of his life. A fight he would ultimately lose. In February 2018, after all options had been exhausted, rather than go through an impeachment vote and process, Zuma decided to resign. And not long after that, Zuma was indicted on more charges of theft, bribery, corruption, and racketeering. Oh, did I also mention money laundering? Or as my brother says, money laundry? The future does not look bright for Mr. Zuma. But meanwhile, Mr. Ramaphosa has a tough job ahead of him. He has to clean up the mess that Zuma left. South Africa has a huge public debt and deficit, extreme unemployment, extreme inequality, extreme corruption, with Zuma loyalists hanging out all over the ANC, extreme levels of crime, extreme levels of poverty, where a lot of people simply cannot get basic services, and you have a country that could potentially be explosive one day. Am I saying it will be? No. But would I rule it out? Would I rule anything out? I would not either. So, best of luck to Mr. Ramaphosa, that he can fix the mess. Glad I don't live in South Africa. Oh, and by the way, so please, in the comments below, just find a question, any question, about any geographic event, or anything, okay, related to Beyond the Borders. Please just ask below. Please. Thank you. And you will, next time you will see the North Korea video, and then you'll have a video about the world's worst dictators. And one of them, of course, is a very, very, very fat man.